Hello and welcome to the podcast hosted by myself, Louis Kessinger, and my dad, Tommy. We are a part of the Kessinger Lee Group at Baird and have been serving investors in our area for 4 generations. Our goal is to start a conversation around topics within the world of finance and to educate you, our listeners. All right, well, welcome back to the second episode. We got away from the white background and we're up on the 5th floor of the City Center building. Baird moved in here last November, so we've been here coming up on a year. We've got a great view for you, and we're excited to talk to you today. Our topic is cash.
Cash money.
So we typically like to talk about cash in terms of 3 different buckets with clients, and today we're going to dive into what that means. So you want to go ahead and talk about the first bucket?
Well, before we do that, I'm going to define a couple of things about cash. So when we talk about cash, we are talking typically about money that is held in, say, your checking account that's FDIC insured through your bank, or your savings account, which is FDIC insured through your local bank. You can check there to make sure that they are FDIC insured.
Yeah.
So those are daily liquid every single day. And then the other one that we'll talk about on this episode is a money market account.
Yeah.
So a money market account is a type of an account that tends to offer a higher interest rate. It may or may not be FDIC insured, and it may have a higher minimum account balance in order to get that higher interest rate.
Sure.
The goal is to own that money market, which it could have U.S. Treasuries. It could be in FDIC insured instruments or in short-term corporate bonds, but regardless, the money market is designed to hold a stable value, provide a higher level of interest, and it's incumbent upon the investor to understand what type of money market they own. But all of these things, checkings, savings, money market, is what we refer to in our industry as cash, liquid, stable funds available every single day. So I just wanted to throw those definitions out, and then we can talk about the different buckets.
Yeah, and this has really, in the last year or so, become a hot topic because of where rates have come from to where they are now, and the rapid rise from the Fed last year was unprecedented, really.
Yeah, it was very steep. We haven't seen anything like that in 40 years. So interest rates on savings accounts, money market accounts, and very liquid United States Treasury, what we call Treasury bills, basically went from almost 0% interest to up to 5.25% interest. And so you are now able to get paid for holding cash. And it's been 15 years almost since we've been getting paid to hold cash, which is why it's such a timely topic.
Moving on, let's go ahead and get into the first bucket. You want to break that down for us?
Yeah, so when we think of cash and when we talk to our clients about cash, we talk about 3 distinct buckets. So the first one is cash that helps you sleep at night. This is an amount of money that varies by person to person from your individual experience. You will hear a lot of people talk about you should keep 3 to 6 months living expenses in an account, in cash. We tell our clients, I really don't care where you keep it. You can keep it in a tin can buried in the backyard, put it under your mattress, put it in your mattress. We obviously tend to recommend people keep that in a checking account or savings account or these money market type of accounts. Whatever it is, wherever it lives, whatever the amount is, it's important that it helps you rest well. It helps you stay invested when the markets go through their headlines of craziness. So we call it the sleep at night number, and we want people to have that bucket full at all times, no matter what.
Right. Yeah, it's so important, that peace of mind and the comfort when you're looking at a statement that's going up and down and then you get to look at a statement or at a tin can that's always full, or a statement that is going up.
You can open your mattress and be like, there's my cash.
That's exactly right. So it's really comforting for people, and that is step one of investing. We don't even want you to invest unless you have that cash first.
Yeah, I would agree. So the second bucket is similar to it, except that it's got a known end date. So the second bucket of cash is a bucket of cash that you know you're going to have an expense within the next year. So maybe you pay your insurance premiums on your home or auto annually. You know that's going to be due in August. Or maybe it's your home property taxes that are due. Those are typically, in the state of Kentucky, they're due in November. I know in the state of Florida, sometimes those are due in February or March. And so it's a known expense. I've got tuition coming up in the fall for my child. I've got tuition coming up in the spring for my child.
Maybe I got a 16-year-old and I'm getting them a car. You know that you're spending that money.
Or better yet, I'm going to give them my old car and I'm going to get a new car.
That's right. That's right.
So, but it's a known expense. And so that money needs to stay in cash as well, because it needs to be stable and it needs to be there when you need it.
And then the third bucket is cash that is on the sidelines. So you may have a portfolio of investments, and part of that portfolio is going to be sitting in cash. And it's going to be waiting for an opportunity to be invested. It's not jumping on the first opportunity, it's looking for the best opportunity.
Yeah, that's really well said. And I think of it, for those of you out there that are hunters, whether you hunt the actual animal, or maybe you're hunting with a camera and you want that perfect picture, you're laying in wait, right? You're in that tree stand where you're waiting for that big game, that perfect picture to come. Maybe you're waiting for that amazing sunrise to come. But regardless, that cash is sitting there in some interest-bearing account waiting to buy that thing. Maybe it's a stock. Maybe it's a distressed bond. Maybe it's a great piece of real estate that you've had your eye on for years. But in our portfolios, what we do is we're looking for that sell-off in the market, and then we have the opportunity to pounce and use that cash to buy at the right price.
And sometimes that cash is hard for people to sit and look at. In their account, it can be tough to see a market that's ripping and running, and maybe a couple weeks ago the Dow was up 13 days in a row, and somebody looks at their account and says, what's this cash doing? We got to put this to work. We could get some more return. Well, like we said, we're waiting on that best opportunity, and we're waiting for a pullback to put that to work.
And best opportunity in our view, by the way.
In our view.
Yeah, that's
right.
That's what makes markets. So the other thing about that is this is a hard bucket for a lot of people, this opportunity cash, because when markets are ripping and running, to your point, you want to be, I wish I had that invested.
Mm-hmm.
But when markets are falling, when they're going down, and they're going down every day, like all of a sudden that's like my comfort.
Sure.
Like it's not just my safety bucket. I know I've got that one, but like I like this one too.
Yeah.
And I don't want to let go of it. So opportunity cash, you really have to think through that. Like this is money that is looking for that next best idea.
And you got to be patient, because opportunities don't come once a week, right?
No.
That cash might be sitting on the sidelines waiting for its opportunity for months, for years. Mm-hmm. And it's tough sometimes to see it sitting there, but it pays off if you're willing to be patient.
Yeah, I really think that the whole thought process around this discussion is just to be sure that you put your cash in these different mental buckets and or physical buckets, and let each one of them do their job.
Mm-hmm. Yep, not trying to do too much with your money is easier said than done. Easier said than done. I think that's all we got for you on cash. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
This podcast is intended for informational and educational purposes only. It is not an offer to buy or sell or solicitation of an offer to buy or sell any security or investment or to participate in any particular trading or investment strategy. The information is considered to be from reliable sources, but its accuracy is not guaranteed. We do not offer legal or tax advice, so please consult your tax or legal professional for information specific to your situation. The opinions expressed are those of the speaker and not necessarily those of Robert W. Baird & Company Incorporated. Please note past performance is not indicative of future results, and diversification does not ensure a profit or protect against loss. All investments carry some level of risk, including loss of principal. You should carefully consider investment objectives and risks of any investment before investing. An investment cannot be made directly in an index. Securities and investment advisory services are offered by Robert W. Baird & Company Incorporated, a registered broker-dealer and investment advisor, member NYSE, FINRA, and SIPC. You should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of each money market fund carefully before investing. This and other information is found in the applicable prospectus for the money market fund. Contact your Baird financial advisor for a prospectus. Please read the prospectus carefully before investing. Money market funds are managed to maintain a stable $1 share price. An investment in a money market fund is not insured or guaranteed by the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation or any other government agency. Although the fund seeks to preserve the value of your investment at $1 per share, it is possible to lose money by investing in the fund.